Good evening and welcome to Newshour Agenda. I'm Krishna. It's taken just one social media post to make the usual flag bearers of free speech advocate intolerance. The video that has deeply divided the political fraternity is the one posted by BJP's West Bengal co-in-charge and the IT cell chief Amit Malviya. On your screen is a clip that has now led to an FIR being filed against Malviya in Karnataka. It's a satirical animated portrayal of Rahul Gandhi showing a foreign player calling the shots, interspersed with India's democracy under attack utterances. Malviya has captioned the post, and I quote, that Rahul Gandhi is dangerous and playing an insidious game. This is what has now led to the BJP leader being booked for promoting enmity between different groups and a criminal conspiracy. Now, there's a full-fledged war of words over whether political commentary amounts to spreading enmity or is it a case of political vendetta and overreaction.
अफवाहें फैलना हिडन एजेंडा नहीं है, नफरत फैलाना हिडन एजेंडा नहीं है, सच का झूठ बनाना, झूठ का सच बनाना हिडन एजेंडा नहीं है. उसके खिलाफ हम लड़ रहे हैं, कानूनी तौर पर लड़ रहे हैं. उस पर ये कानून और संविधान ऊपर इतना एलर्जी क्यों है बीजेपी को?
प्रेजुडिस के वजह से एफआईआर किया है. यहाँ कांग्रेस सरकार है, वो लोग प्रेजुडिस के वजह से एफआईआर करवाया है. अब सोचिए, राहुल गांधी गए थे ना अमेरिका, उस समय ऑर्गेनाइजर कौन था? भारत का दोस्ती है क्या जॉर्ज सोरोस? जॉर्ज सोरोस हमेशा भारत के खिलाफ हमेशा मदद करता है.
But there is more to the story. Never the one to take such attacks lying down, BJP came armed with more arsenal to counter the onslaught. Union Minister Smriti Irani said that Malviya had been made a victim of political vendetta for exposing Congress's Soros link. Showing a picture to back the charge, she circled in red a lady sitting on the table, Sunita Vishwanath, a US-based activist who is allegedly being funded by George Soros. Now, why is this problematic? Remember, Soros is a known India baiter. It was openly said in the past that India is a democracy, but its leaders no Democrat. Almost the same tone that Rahul adopted on his foreign sojourns. The Congress, however, demands stricter action against Malviya.
एक ही हुई, ये अच्छी खबर नहीं कि एक ही हुई, बहुत होनी चाहिए. जिस तरह से वो ना केवल सच के साथ खिलवाड़ करते हैं, लोगों के चरित्र के साथ खिलवाड़ करते हैं, लोगों की छवि के साथ खिलवाड़ करते हैं, और देश की छवि सबसे ज्यादा बिगाड़ने में अगर किसी का योगदान रहा है तो बीजेपी के आईटी सेल का रहा है. पूरी एक प्रधानमंत्री की यात्रा पर एक अकेले व्यक्ति ने पानी फेरा तो उसका नाम यही है जो आपने अभी नाम लिया. तो मैं तो हैरान हूं कि सरकार ने अभी तक उन पर कोई एफआईआर क्यों नहीं की.
कि इस विषय को उठाने के लिए कांग्रेस पार्टी ने एक एफआईआर दर्ज की. एफआईआर का निश्चित रूप से पॉलिटिकल स्वरूप देश को समझ आता है. गांधी खानदान ने पुनः देश को यह प्रमाण दिया है कि चाहे राज्य में उनके पास सत्ता आ जाए, वो सच को दबाने के लिए किस हद तक जा सकते हैं.
To re-emphasize the link of Rahul to Soros, in fact, we've also seen that this picture has been pointed out to. The same lady, Sunita Vishwanath, who has been seen seated next to Rahul Gandhi, can be seen picketing against PM Modi and Joe Biden's meeting. Now, Congress may be defending action against Malviya as due process, but let's remind you how it had in the past attacked the BJP for allegedly attacking free speech. Rahul Gandhi in the US had said, I face criminally liable cases for things that aren't criminally liable. Indian democracy is under pressure and under attack. When Congress's Pawan Khera was arrested, Jairam Ramesh had said that arresting Khera is politics of vengeance and intimidation by the BJP. On similar lines, Shashi Tharoor had said, accusing Khera of a joke about the PM is flagrant overreach. How can you arrest a political figure for a verbal barb? Ironically, in 2019, Rahul Gandhi had said that Congress listens to all but does not impose anything. He also said that ideas shouldn't be crushed violently by the forces of hate and mediocrity. In 2019, Rahul had even said that intolerance is rising in the last few years and this must change. Now the question now is Malviya facing a case for fakery or fact check?
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, let's go across to our guests for more on this. Sanju Verma is the national spokesperson of the BJP. Shubhrashtra is founder of the Churn. With us also is Sanjay Jha, author. Advocate Nikhil Jain is a political analyst joining us. Nilanjan Das is a political analyst joining us. Let me begin with Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, you would have seen, what sections have been filed in this entire case, I assume. 153A is promoting enmity between different groups on grounds of religion, race, etc. What exactly in this video attracts such a charge, according to you?
Madhav, I just want to answer your question rather succinctly. And I think we need to understand the broader context of what the Congress party has done in Karnataka. The specifics you already know. I mean, the charges under the IPC, etc. And we can debate that till the cows come home. My answer, in short, is number one. Every time in the past, whenever the BJP has harassed opponents, not just the Congress, but the entire opposition, all BJP spokespersons come on the program and say, if you have any objection, don't worry, there are always the courts, and let the process of the law take its own course. So I'm just going to tell all the...
So this is tit for tat. So the Congress government is doing what BJP does. That's what you're trying to say.
No, Madhav, I said 2 points. This is my point number one. Instead of hyperventilating on TV shows and appearing very anxious and, completely aghast, let us apply the same yardstick to the BJP, what they have done to the opposition. I don't want to comment on the merits of the case. I do believe, without hesitation, I can point it out to you.
No, but why not, sir?
The BJP...
If an FIR is filed, I can understand adding charges as we go by. But prima facie, from that video, where do we see promoting enmity between communities? May I ask you a simple question? Can you answer that, Sanjay Jha?
Madhav, I'm answering you, and my second point is linked to the first one, that I have seen, and you know it, and we have debated it on your Times Now program, charges of sedition on people, young children, for staging a program on CAA. I mean, the BJP is the last party on earth to have the moral convictions.
Okay, the BJP has no moral authority,
yeah, no, my second point,
but the Congress in Karnataka has the authority. That's what you're trying to say. It's perfectly fine if the Congress does it. The BJP has no moral authority. That's the crux of your argument, Sanjay?
No, there's a second point. I think
you're repeating yourself.
No. Here's the second point.
You've still not been able to explain where 153A is attracted. I'm asking you a very simple, basic question. I'm not even asking you anything out of the FIR. I'm asking you, where is this attracted?
I think the Congress party is basically sending out a message to the BJP, perhaps belatedly. But, the message to the BJP from all opposition is, about time your game is going to be called out. And I think the Congress is saying that you have damaged Rahul Gandhi, you have insulted leaders of the Congress, you have made malicious attacks.
Okay.
The BJP is a fake manufacturing factory.
So there have been malicious attacks that have been made in the past. Also in the current context, Sanju Verma, the BJP has no moral authority because you've done exactly the same. And by doing exactly the same, it's perhaps, applications of section of law such as sedition, etc., which are not suitable for certain groups and certain individuals. And therefore, you don't have the moral authority to preach anything to the Congress today. If I've understood Sanjay Jha, that's the sum and substance of his responses to my questions. I want you to respond to it. Yeah, okay. Sanjay, you made your point. Let's get to response from Sanjay.
Thank you. Madhav, let me make this very clear that the BJP is not going to cry, whine and sulk on national television. And while this may sound very cliched, we will fight it out in courts because unlike the Congress, we completely repose our faith in the judicial process and the law of the land. And now coming to Sanjay Jha's allegation, a very puerile and juvenile one at that, saying that the BJP is a fake news factory. Of course, and you are Elvis Presley, right? So much for odious comparisons. Now, Madhav, I will give you some specific data and facts because I think it's very important to talk about specifics, which was succinctly mentioned by Smriti Irani during her press conference, calling out in more ways than one the bluff of Rahul Gandhi and why that video which Amit Malviya put out and why we stand by it. On the 4th of June this year in New York, Rahul Gandhi's event, and this your viewers need to listen to very carefully. Rahul Gandhi's event in New York was either sponsored, co-sponsored, organized or financed by these organizations: Indian Society of North America, Indian Council of North America, the Greater Princeton Municipal Council, the Municipal Council of New Jersey, the Indian Medical Association of North America, and Indian American Muslim Council. Now, why the BJP has a problem with these organizations? All these organizations, including the Indian American Muslim Council, which has been founded by Jamaat-e-Islami, which is a designated terror organization. All these organizations, if you look at, just go to the Indian American Muslim Council website and you will find that all the above organizations that I mentioned 20 seconds back owe their allegiance to Al-Khidmat, owe their allegiance to Sayyid Salahuddin and Hizbul Mujahideen, owe their allegiance to a Texas-based organization called Holy Land Foundation, which has also been designated as a terror firm by the United States, no less.
Okay.
And Al-Mustafa Welfare Trust, again another radical Islamist terror organization.
Okay.
And why we say that Rahul Gandhi is anti-national is because all these firms have said POK is not a part of India, Leh Ladakh is not a part of India, Jammu Kashmir is a separate country. They have stood up in solidarity with the likes of Umar Khalid, who's still not been declared innocent.
Okay.
And if after all this, Rahul Gandhi
I've got your point.
goes and says,
I've got your point,
Please let me
Sanju
finish.
Verma. This is also
Let me
what
finish
Smriti
in 10
Irani
seconds.
referred to
10
today.
seconds.
This is what Smriti Irani referred to today. We've all seen the press conference. So let me bring in the other panelists. Nikhil Jain, these are organizations which, have extremely dubious sort of past, if I can put it mildly. There are allegations of linkages with various terror groups that Sanju is referring to. But in any case, these are not organizations that believe in the unity and integrity of India, is a charge that is being made over here. So why is Mr. Gandhi, and if Mr. Gandhi is associated or seen associated with members of such groups, is Mr. Malviya being factually wrong in the cartoon that he has put out? And when has cartoon in fact become a crime in India?
So Madhav, I was on a debate earlier on this topic. I hope I get to speak this time around. The basic point here is that the BJP is trying to prove that the Indian American Muslim Council, George Soros and all these other bunch of figures are some sort of terrorists or anti-India elements, while there is not a single evidence to that fact. In fact, there is evidence to the contrary that George Soros was crowned by Forbes as the most generous donation giver in the world, having donated more than half of his and distributed more than half of his multi-billion-dollar wealth. So far as Indian American Muslim Council is concerned, again they are a pro-democracy organization. There isn't a single thread of evidence that would prove. I'm not saying he's an Indian nationalist. He's just an advocate of democracy. He may or may not be against India's
there are charges against George Soros that have been leveled by previous Congress regimes also. Mr. Nikhil Jain.
By the BJP.
No, the point is Mr. George Soros and his open society's past is something that has been questioned time and again. Is that not a fact, Nikhil Jain?
So it is the BJP that is questioning his intention. See, Madhav, let's be honest here. Any foreign national talking about democracy or governance in a country is going to make any government uncomfortable. Whether it is the Congress government, whether it is the BJP government, of course there would be some elements in any government that, as a reflex reaction, the first thing that they'll say is this person is anti-India. But that's not always the case. There is nothing to prove or establish that this person is anti-India. If he is indeed anti-India, why is the Indian foreign establishment, the foreign department, not raising
so these FIRs are justified according to Nikhil Jain? So once again, before I come across to Sanju Verma, so let me ask you the question I put to Sanjay Jha just a few moments ago. What in his cartoon or that video shows or attracts 153A, which is promoting enmity between various religious groups? Please explain that to me, Nikhil. You're a lawyer, so you should know.
See, Madhav, as a lawyer, personally, I feel it is not a case of 153. It is not a case of 153.
Very interesting.
But
very
at the
interesting.
same time, let's also remember who frames these charges. At the same time, let's also remember.
I'm glad. I'm glad you have the courage to admit
Priyank Kharge and another person submit a complaint to the police.
So you will say, so you will admit that the police has probably, been a little trigger happy over here. There's a little bit of an overreach on part of the police. I'm sure you'll agree with that.
I honestly feel that they should have first of all charged him for 500. This is very clearly a case of criminal defamation. I don't know why criminal defamation has not been listed in the FIR. So far as 153 is concerned, I don't think 153 is applicable here, but that is for a court to decide. I can't decide. You can't decide for a court to decide.
I'm glad you have the frankness, but I want to bring in Sanju Verma. I'm going to bring in, before I come across Sanju Verma, one quick question from Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, Nikhil Jain is no pro-BJP voice. He in fact speaks up for the Congress, just as you do. But the point is, even he today feels that the police has erred today. So will you be also frank enough to admit that sections which talk about promoting enmity between various religious groups perhaps is an act of overreach on part of the Karnataka police today?
Well, I think the simple answer, listen, at the moment, this is not a legal debate, right? Because that will be discussed in the court.
This is an FIR, sir.
Sure, no,
of course, every action will be questioned. I mean, if it's a democracy and we're fighting for democratic rights, then everybody has a right to raise questions on actions of individuals. And if we don't hold police accountable, if we don't hold governments accountable, which you are rightly saying, in fact, is the case, then what is the whole idea of free speech, Mr. Sanjay Jha?
Madhav, if you're done with your question, I will answer. I'm saying the legal part of it will be contested in the courts. I'm commenting on the political aspect.
But I'm asking you a legal question.
So can I answer?
Can we not ask questions of the police?
I'm answering you. I have said that I am not here going to sit and adjudicate as to what the courts will say. But the political message is clear that the BJP has been absolutely dictatorial. It's a fascist party. And a fascist party survives on conspiracy theories and lies.
It's a fascist party, and George Soros is not an anti-India individual or his organization.
Is a fascist party, and I will repeat it.
Let her come in on the points that have been read. You're repeating your points. Let Nikhil Jain's question be answered by Sanju Verma now. Yes, Sanju Verma.
I mean,
first the charge of
political strategy.
Sanjay Jha, please hold your horses. You had your say. Thank you. Madhav, first the reckless and wild allegation that the BJP is a fascist party. No, we are not. And when you say that the BJP is a fascist party, you are actually condemning the 37.8% population, close to 24 crore voters who voted en masse for Narendra Modi and gave him a thumping majority in 2019. But I will tell you what fascism is, Sanjay Jha. In 1951, Nehru passed the First Amendment, curbing free speech. That was fascism. In 1976, Indira Gandhi passed the 42nd Amendment, curbing the power of judicial review of courts. That was fascism. In 1988, Rajiv Gandhi tried passing the anti-defamation bill. That was fascism. Majru Sultanpuri was jailed for 18 months only for writing a couplet against Nehru. That was fascism. When Siddharth Shankar Ray, a congressman, was the chief minister of Bengal, he physically threatened to cut out the electricity of those media houses which wrote against the Gandhi Parivar, namely Indira Gandhi and her two sons. That was fascism. When the Congress tried to bring in the communal violence bill to rein in Hindus, thank God it never saw the light of the day. That was fascism. So don't sit here and give me a lecture on free speech, because you will, end up embarrassing yourself. Now, I just want to say one very quick, I'll give you a quick rebuttal on the George Soros bit, which Smriti Irani said. Who are the people who are at the core of the George Soros empire when it comes to India? It is a man called Harsh Mandar, who also happens to be the same guy who was a part of Sonia Gandhi's kitchen cabinet and National Advisory Council. Who is part of George Soros's infamous empire? A lady called Sunita Vishwanath, who was also seen at the June 4th New York event along with Rahul Gandhi. Who is the third most important person in the George Soros empire? It is a person called Salil Shetty, who was seen during the Bharat Jodo Yatra. I will not call it the Bharat Jodo Yatra. And why have I named Sunita Vishwanath, Harsh Mandar and Salil Shetty? Because these three individuals have repeatedly said POK is not a part of India, Leh Ladakh is not a part of India, Jammu Kashmir is a separate country, and mind you, Madhav, I'm reading out in 10 seconds. Add verbatim what Harsh Mandar said at the peak of the Shaheen Bagh protest. And he actually castigated the Supreme Court, saying, the Supreme Court has failed to honor secularism, equality and humanity. by denying bail to Umar Khalid when his bail was denied. This is Harsh Mandar, a part of Sonia Gandhi's kitchen cabinet, criticizing the Supreme Court.
I'm going to talk about the individuals who, in fact, Mr. Gandhi, or the allegations are, who, in fact, operate from foreign soil for the moment. I want to bring in Nilanjan Das. There are some very serious charges that the BJP is leveling against these particular individuals who Mr. Gandhi has been seen with, photographed with. It's all out there in the public domain. So the BJP is saying that are we not allowed to raise our voice against these individuals and their dubious track record? Simple question. Nilanjan Das.
Reflect the people's attention from the crisis that they have precipitated in Manipur. So this is the real fact. And
by filing an FIR in Karnataka, the Congress is helping them to deflect attention, you're saying?
No, they have done the right thing. It should be done by every state government. And
what?
I must,
filing
I'm
an
a
FIR.
person from West Bengal. I'm a person from West Bengal. I must ask the Kolkata police or the West Bengal police. They should also follow suit. Why are they not, filing FIR, suo cases against this man? He is a...
On what basis,
He has been flagged.
In this particular case, on what basis?
Twitter.
We just discussed how sections have been wrongly imposed in this case. Okay, make your point, Nilanjan Das.
No, I'm talking about the larger picture. Mr. Malviya, he is a compulsive liar. Lying is his job. You have to understand. Putting out fake tweets and fake propaganda, that is his job. And there's no point discussing Mr. Amit Malviya, a loser like him, on national television.
Then why are we here on the debate? I think you were informed of the subject. If you don't want to discuss it, please don't come for the debate.
Absolutely no.
You can hyperventilate off screen, sir, if you don't want to come for this debate.
I'm not hyperventilating.
Of course, I am asking a simple question based on the story today. There is an FIR that has been filed, and you're taking this to the past history of Amit Malviya. If you feel that he's done something illegal, please file a case or go to a court of law. There are legal remedies available to you. The only point in this case is what he has said or put out, whether he's protected by Indian law in doing so, and whether this is an overreach by a state government. Do you agree with that? Yes or no, Mr. Nilanjan Das? Simple question to you.
No, it will go to the court, and if there are charges which are overreach
or not, sir? Yes or no?
I'm not the judge. Unlike you, Madhav.
But I'm sure you're a thinking person. You will see, if you hear that there are wrong sections of law, that an advocate such as Nikhil Jain, who has no sympathy for the BJP, is saying today that it is wrong. Do you think that it is right? Simple question.
I don't know. It's for the court to judge.
Okay, you don't know. You don't know what sections of law should be applied. You don't know. All that you know is that state government should be filing cases. Thank you so much, Mr. Nilanjan Das. Now, let me take this across to our Subrashta, who's founder of the Churn, joining us. Subrashta, the question is this. The question is that people... Yeah, one second, Mr. Nilanjan Das. A simple question that I'm asking you is this. There are a set of charges that have been put out in the public domain. There is a video that has been made. And there is a case that has been filed against Mr. Malviya. Now, for all those who have raised questions time and again of democracy and free speech, etc., now are we seeing a situation where the same individuals are taking a very different position in the case of Mr. Malviya?
Madhav, the point is very simple. Wherever Congress government is in power, this is how they want to crush opposition voices. This is a basic, simple clarification on this entire situation, and I'll tell you why. All these theories about democracy, all these theories about free speech, all this conversation about we really want a democratic country where we can freely debate and discuss with each other, all sounds good when the Congress is in opposition. But the moment they come to power, they have a history. They've had a history. Now, I'm not going to just quote the emergency. We saw what happened in the whole, there was an artist, Mr. Trivedi, who was also incarcerated by the very same government for publishing some cartoons. So we all know that the history of the Congress party is not very great when it comes to upholding democratic credentials. So I'm not surprised at all when immediately after coming to power in Karnataka, they have resorted to such kind of measure. Now, with respect to the personal cudgels that people have with Mr. Amit Malviya, yes, he is the IT cell head of the world's largest political party. And if they have a problem with him politically, let them fight it out politically. But the kind of machinery that is being used to set up a completely different precedent here is very, very dangerous. Because if the same thing will be repeated by the BJP government in a BJP ruled state, then let's just look at the conversation then. I'm not in favor of any kind of fake news being spread by any political arm in this country, whether it is the Congress or the BJP or the RJD or the Janata Dal United or whichever political party we look at. But the point of the conversation is exactly this: how do you deal with your political opponents? Do you let political battles be converted into legal battles, or do you allow political rivalries to just remain political rivalries? And then of course there are these democratic values and ideals that we talk about. It's absolutely okay for me and Nilanjan Das to disagree with each other, but sit in the panel. Tomorrow I don't think I'm going to go and file a defamation case on Nilanjan Das, or I don't think Times Now Network is going to file a defamation case on Nilanjan Das to say that he was not informed, or he was informed of the debate but still he chose to come and make a side comment about the state of affairs with regards to the media. So it's a very simple point about ethics.
Okay.
Are you ethical enough to see that the values that you are trying to preach, you stay committed to that?
Okay.
It's a very simple
Sanjay Jha wants to counter you on that. Yes, Sanjay Jha.
Yeah. Madhav, let me tell you, fascist ideology is actually propagated in the manner in which we are hearing some people on the program today. A combination of whataboutery. Secondly, they will say we stand for democratic values when in fact they are actually playing the most divisive role. Have you noticed something interesting? No one is really commented from the people who are supporting Mr. Malviya about the content of that video. Nobody is really talking about the fact that it has outrageous, obtuse, and absolutely, in my mind, ridiculous.
So tell us, I
messaging.
started by asking you, where is it violated the law? Please tell us, Mr. Sanjay Jha. This is what I've asked you repeatedly. You're saying the courts will decide, then you're saying politics will decide.
Madhav,
What is the violation here?
Madhav,
Sanjay, I'm asking you repeatedly. Please tell us what is the violation. They can respond. Ask them the question.
Madhav, let me tell you this, that you had, I think, Subrashta, who spoke before me, who made this rather preposterous statement. What if the BJP were to do the same to the opposition? What she has failed to recognize is that the BJP has been doing it over the last 10 years.
Okay.
It's the Congress which is calling out BJP's bluff.
Madhav, may I come in?
Let us not indulge in mendacity here on the show, please.
Okay. But Sanjay Jha, the problem is you're speaking in so general a set of terms that there are no responses. So let me ask the specific question to Sanju. Sanju, the specific questions are these. When Congress leaders were arrested for pasting PCM posters, when Mr. Tharoor had an FIR filed against him for sharing alleged misleading tweets on violent farmers, and Mr. Pawan Khera was detained, on all these occasions, the Congress accused the BJP of crossing the barriers of decency and, in fact, misusing the police and state machinery for political ends. These are three examples that come to me immediately. How would you respond to these charges that have been made by Congress already in the public domain?
Madhav, Sanjay Jha, this is not...
But Sanjay, you had the opportunity to do so, you did not. Please now allow her to respond to my question at least.
Please, why is this man Sanjay Jha so rattled today?
I gave you a chance to raise the FIR sections. I gave you a chance to ask questions. You did none of those. Now, please allow others to speak. We have very little time left. Yes. Sanju.
Madhav, I just want to tell everybody who's sitting here and giving the BJP a bhashan on democracy, let it be known to you, Sanjay Jha, that the world's oldest democracy invited Prime Minister Modi to address the joint session of the Congress, and he's only the third global leader after Winston Churchill and Nelson Mandela to address the joint session of the Congress twice. So you are the last person who should be sitting here and judging Prime Minister Modi. You are a suspended leader of a party that is fast losing its political relevance. And you tweeted in 2014, game up for Modi. You tweeted in 2019, game up for Modi. Now you say 2024, it will be curtains for Modi. Please
Sanju, let's come back to the question I asked you and the subject that we're discussing. Please, we have limited time left. Amit Malviya and the questions that I asked you.
Madhav, I just want to say this. Be it section 505 or be it section 153, the two sections which have been leveled against Amit Malviya via the IPC. They promote rioting, they promote communal disharmony, and they promote hatred. The Congress should do some introspection. If we start filing FIRs wide 153 and 505, Pawan Khera, Supriya Shrinet, and Jairam Ramesh will have nowhere to hide.
Okay, Nikhil Jain has his hand up. Nikhil Jain, quick response, almost out of time. Nikhil Jain, quick response to the legal sections.
First of all, Madhav, I want to clarify, I am not against the FIR or prosecution of Amit Malviya. I was just making a nuanced legal point about the imposition of 153 by the police in the FIR. So far as Malviya and his video is concerned, I am going to talk about the content of the video. The content is preposterous. It is insinuating that Rahul Gandhi is engaging in some conspiracy to break India, and there isn't a thread of evidence for that, and obviously there isn't. The BJP very well knows that. And
what are the sections it attracts?
Should be tried for criminal
What are the legal violations, sir? Quickly, for the fifth time today, in the last half an hour, please tell us which are the sections it attracts.
499 defined defamation, 500 IPC, section 500 IPC, criminal defamation, criminal defamation an individual. Okay. When that video is trying to insinuate that Rahul Gandhi is breaking up India or is trying to break up India, that is very clearly criminal defamation.
Okay, so 120B is wrong. There's no criminal conspiracy here according to you. 34 is also wrong. 153A is wrong. The only one that stands is 505.
No. And
all 500
applies. No. 153 is the 153 is the only one I contest, and I say that 500 should be included, but the man should be prosecuted for the propaganda and the lies that he spreads.
Okay, quick response, Sanju. Quick response, Sanju. Someone has finally come up with a justification for these sections that have been imposed against Mr. Malviya. I'm going to give you a quick chance to respond to that.
I want
30
to say
seconds,
this.
please.
I think the biggest vindication of the fact that Rahul Gandhi is with the Tukde Tukde gang is the fact that recently on his trip to London, he clearly said that I don't understand why the United States and the European Union are not intervening and are oblivious to the fact that a large chunk of democracy has come undone in India when you are inviting foreign powers to intervene in India's internal affairs. I think that is the strictest definition of anti-national in more ways than one.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Ladies and gentlemen, completely out of time. Completely out of time. Sanju Verma, Subhash Das, Sanjay Jha, Advocate Nikhil Jain and Nilanjan Das. We certainly have heard the last word yet of this entire case. We will, of course, continue to track the entire case, its investigation, where it finally leads to. But for the moment, I'd like to thank all of you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this evening.